back, right? Where we been? I mean,
Professionalism.
we could call it the Sunday night tradition, but that'd be a lie because we've been gone for a while.
If you hit about 65%, I think that counts, right?
I think we had we were going really, really strong, and then we actually took a trip with our buddy Rab and checked out the Royal Rumble in St. Louis.
Ridge
And
Holland, just for Ridge Holland.
right, and
One
as we
reason.
always said, a good time was had by all. They'd never set the WrestleMania sign on fire before, and then they did it twice while we were there. So, pretty exciting to see everybody's kind
I
of.
was still worried. I was still worried we were gonna have like a white snake. Was it White Snake? Was that that horrible tragedy?
No,
Not white.
Great White.
Great White.
Yeah, Great White.
That's right.
Yeah, White Snake was always above board. They were good boys, that's the thing. But yeah, so that's where we were, and then we had some I think family obligations. Couldn't really push it off to Valentine's Day. That's a podcast ruiner. Commit podcast suicide. Do one Valentine's Day's night. So we didn't do that. And then last week I was out of town, and boy, being out of town means a lot of advance work on Eternal Baseball, but it was pretty seamless. So I was happy how that turned out. But now we're back in the saddle, back with the Eternal Baseball broadcast or podcast, and it's about time too because we're a week away from the All-Star game, which is always a good time. We had a blast
Halfway home,
right? Halfway through the season, and as Brent pointed out on one of our newsletters, we are the only game in town. So if you love baseball, you want to watch a baseball game tonight, we're kind of your only option. So be gentle with your criticism because you can't flip the channel. Ain't no other game going on right now.
I'm quite sensitive too, so please.
Yeah, and I mean, but we're obviously baseball fans, so let's hope we get some resolution between the league and the Players Association. But until then, we'll enjoy kind of a captive audience. And we are headed to the All-Star game. And our All-Star game works a little differently in that we play it sort of out of context. We don't take a week off or 5 days off to have a game in the middle. And we can't we don't want a guy going 14 innings in the All-Star game and then being ruined for a week of the actual season. And as we found out last year, playing our first game live, the computer takes it really seriously. So I don't think they even went to the pen. I think their starter went the whole damn game. It was Ed Morris, I think, who, by
Death
the
Valley.
way, I know Ed Morris is the Pittsburgh left-hander who wants to throw like 400 innings. We had to put the bumpers up on him, to use a bowling term. But this year, he lasted about a month and then threw his arm out and had our first season-ending injury.
Thank you, Bud Selig. That's all on Bud Selig.
Yeah, exactly, right? So we'll be rolling.
Oh, man, like we've clearly stated we're sensitive to criticism, and then Rob comes in.
Yeah,
man. Let's boot him. Let's get this guy out of here.
Yeah, well, Rob, of all of our dozen of fans, Rob has the right to feel a little aggrieved, given that I banned him with a carpet bombing bad hammer and trying to get the bot out, and I panicked a little bit. And my very first bad hammer swing, I took out one of the real strong backers of the show. Yeah, so Rob gets a lot of rope.
Yeah, this just escalates. It's just escalating like Ukraine and Russia right now. Just right through the roof.
We'll just get Mike on here and we'll have our own personal Statler and Waldorf, and we'll be ready to roll. But anyway, it's been a couple weeks since we took a look at what's going on, what's causing all this. So let's see if I can fire up the old extra screen here with the audio, and there we go. So
it's always a massive relief when my big noggin isn't in the middle of the screen there. It's just you can just feel the weight fall off your shoulders, right? They shift us to the side there.
I like it when anybody else calls their noggin big in my presence because I got kind of an orange on top of a toothpick over here. I had a guy, like a 60-year-old guy, in the store the other day say, "Come over here, young man." I'm like,
anything you need, buddy.
right. Call me young man and just give me a name tag.
The world is yours.
I'm happy to help. So I'll swing all 48 years of bad road basically over there and help you with whatever you need. So
no lifting over 10 pounds, though, right? I need to stipulate this.
That was it. Like, and considering I was doing some skiing this last week for the first time in 20 years, the fact that I'm here with 10 and 10.
Not in traction. That's the
no backsling. Like, I'm going to call that a win. Not that the mountain didn't punch me once, but that's a story for another time. But what we're looking at are the last 3 weeks, and we're not going to go through every little bit here. But as you know, the yellows mean real good week, the pinks mean real bad week, and anything in white is somewhere in the middle. So you can see some of the teams that have gone on a little roll, or maybe if you're Tampa Bay, completely fallen off a cliff with, what are they, 2-16 in their last 18 games. So the resurgent Rays with a bunch of new talent ran out of gas before the All-Star break. Texas continues to have a rough year. But one of my favorites, and it's ironic for me to say that, Boston, who's been pretty good all year, absolutely cratered with an 0-6 week back in week 11. But since then, they've gone 4-2, which included taking 2 out of 3 in Yankee Stadium to close the gap a bit with the Yankees. And then this last week, 5-1, which included a 3-game sweep of Birmingham, who's, again, the best team in the league. So Boston has shown some real signs of life. One thing to watch with Boston, though, is they're going to lose some starts from Cy Young as the season goes on, because he packed a ton of innings into the first half here. And I think he leads the entire league with 14 wins out of the first 76 games. So yeah, you can't pitch forever. So we actually shut him down for, I think it was 10 days, just to try to preserve some of those starts for the end of the year when it might be most important. But anyway, Boston's red hot. Detroit got hot. And one of the teams we'll be looking at tonight, Minnesota, has claimed first place. I know it sounds weird, in the AL West, but that's where they sit in eternal baseball. But they've won 10 of 12. Matter of fact, 10 of their last 12, and grabbed first place away from Seattle. And Seattle had led most of the year, and now even the Angels have creeped a game ahead of Seattle. So the West is competitive, and we're going to take a look at that tonight as Minnesota visits Seattle. As I christen the podcast tonight, we're getting back to our roots, the old Pacific Northwest. So Brett and I grew up in Oregon, and we'd occasionally take in a Mariners game as the home team.
The beautiful kingdom.
If you can call it 7 hours south being the home team, but Bend, Oregon isn't close to anything athletically. So, but anyway, that's sort of what we've been seeing. If you're looking at the division leaders, some are familiar. Atlanta won the AL South last year. Birmingham is running away with the AL South again. Detroit, with a 6-0 week, is making some room in the American League North. But it's the Dodgers who've taken the lead in the National League West, which it's surprising the fall of the San Francisco Giants, who are still very much in it. I think they're only 2 games back. But they ran away with that division last year, and they had Christy Mathewson won the Cy Young, and Willie Mays won, I think, All-Star MVP and overall MVP as they won our first Eternal Series. But it has not been a cakewalk for San Francisco this year. Pitching's still good, but Willie Mays and Barry Bonds have struggled mightily. So maybe there's a gigantic comeback, or maybe it's just not their year. We'll see. Minnesota's grabbed first place for the first time in our season and a half in the American League West. The Yankees are leading the East, but Boston is starting to charge. The Phillies, who won the National League East last year, are in first place, but they've got followers. Montreal being one of them. I'm always excited to see the Expos play well. And then the Pirates are really running away a little bit with the National League North. And they're doing it without Ed Morris, their best pitcher. who again tried to throw 400 innings, and imagine that blew his arm out. So that's what we have here for the weekly tracker. But what we're building toward, and what you'll see this week, we've put together the all-star teams for next Sunday's Eternal Baseball podcast. Each league will have 27 players on the roster, so we expand it by one player. Given that we've got 32 teams to pull all-stars from, we need a little extra room. So 27 players on each team. We'll play, I think it's national. I think we'll be in Wrigley Field this year. So we'll be the National League, the home team, and the American League, like the National League did last year, will play as though it's Game 7 of the World Series. We'll try a little harder to get everybody in, and every team does have a representative. So whoever your favorite team is, they'll have an all-star, and we'll reveal them on our homepage at eternalbaseball.com. We'll reveal them on Facebook. We'll reveal them on Twitter. And this coming Friday, Fridays are off days in Eternal Baseball, is when our newsletter goes out. It's completely free. You can sign up for it at eternalbaseball.com. And that's where we'll announce the starting lineups for the American League and the National League. Coming up a little later this week. But we figure we can do 5 teams a day. We got 6 days. That'll get us 30 teams. So a little earlier today, we decided we would unveil the all-stars for tonight's team, Seattle and Minnesota. And say that this will give us, here you go. So
congratulations, Mike Kingery.
Right. I like being, we're a little formal with it, even though we got, King Felix screaming with gum in his mouth.
Please RSVP.
Yeah, but yeah, bring your own baseball to the All-Star game next week. So the Mariners will send Felix Hernandez, who's having their best season from a pitching standpoint. And I figured there's only 27 slots on a team, so 3 is quite a bit to get. Minnesota's having a good year. And again, if you're new to Eternal Baseball, the franchise, anybody who played in the history of the franchise is eligible for the team. That's how Walter Johnson, the Washington Senator, is a Minnesota Twin as far as we're concerned. So do not adjust your set. That is Walter Johnson, the Minnesota Twin. But you can see why the Twins are having a good year, because their all-stars include their ace, a fantastic slugger, Harmon Killebrew, is having an amazing season, and Joe Nathan, who's shutting it down at the back end. So congratulations to these 4. We will see them all in the All-Star game next Sunday.
Perfect. There's a couple of comments from the Irizarry brothers, if you want to check those out at your leisure.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what we got the Irizarrys. Always happy to see us. I was out of town for my Joe podcast on Friday, but they filled in for me with a much bigger star, so you're always a little nervous when that happens. And, of course, we want to bring the same Cats. Rob has not been banned yet.
Thin ice.
And Mike Irizarry, who fills in, our most regular fill-in, is Willie Randolph fan number 1. And Willie Randolph actually has landed the second baseman job with the Yankees, as Tony Zeri's having kind of a tough year. And A-Rod, a year and a half waiting for A-Rod to look like an MVP, because this is all stat-based. And the numbers say he should be great, and he hasn't been yet. And Tony Lazzeri plays a pretty good third base, too. So Willie Randolph's getting a lot of time in that Yankee lineup, much to Mike Irizarry's support and favor. So anyway, here we are. We're looking at the first game for tomorrow's schedule. So here we are. It's Minnesota at Seattle. And I took a look at this. So it's the wrap-up of the 3-game set. On Friday, Walter Johnson beat Felix Hernandez 4-2. And that's the kind of matchup that's why we made Eternal Baseball, right? Getting those cross-era pitching matchups always makes me grin. And then that was Saturday. On Sunday, Dutch Leonard beat Marco Gonzalez 9-6. Harmon Killebrew hit a 3-run shot. It's his 23rd on the year. That's one back of the overall lead, which is Ted Williams, I think. He's having an amazing season. But tonight, it doesn't always work out, but they say it should be Johan Santana, 6-6 with a 4.12, which is about average, a little above average for ERA anyway in our league, against Randy Johnson, he strikes out a bunch, but he's 6-8 with a 4.29. So both, fantastic pitchers looking for better days, and maybe we'll see it tonight.
Could be a quick one.
Could be, yeah. So without any further ado, let's check out Minnesota at Seattle. Safeco Field looking beautiful, and I worked on the photo today because I wanted to make sure we could see our stolen base percentages from first base. He's always chasing me when it's hidden behind the plate call window. So I think we're good.
Although this doesn't look like the Kingdom, Mark.
No. We're always trying to be as current as possible, right? I really should find some photos where it's packed, right? Where there's fans like jammed, but
then you could take the Kingdom out of that equation. Right. That never occurred ever.
So it's a late arriving crowd here at Safeco Field. I do like that Lou Piniella looks happy to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, nowhere better to be on a Sunday night. Disappointed that Sun Devil Alvin Davis is dinged up right now and unable to man first base, but we'll get through it. Actually, that lets us add somebody. Oh, wait. He's not on the, I guess he's not on the DL because he'll be back in like 2 days. So we're actually down a guy from Mariners. But it is Johan Santana. And for us, we get to pick one guy to watch, Arthur Rhodes, who's had a fantastic season out of Seattle Pen, has thrown 70 innings in the first half out of the Pen. So they're warning us that he's way over his innings amount. So we might want to try to avoid him. Or maybe we use him because this game's important to us. But they're going to have to throttle back on Arthur Lee Rhodes before he
53 games, dude.
Right? 53 out of 76. One of the cool bits is for a team like Minnesota, where Walter Johnson's throwing a complete game every time through the rotation. Like Joe Nathan's having a fantastic year. He's thrown like 16 innings. They don't use their pen much. So in a lot of the
one batter, we need you for.
That's pretty much it, right? He actually had, I think, a 1-out save yesterday. So it's good to be Joe Nathan, I guess. But anyway, we've got our options here are Jamie Moyer, whose numbers are slightly better, or Randy Johnson, but even vintage Jamie Moyer is not getting a start over the big year.
So. He was very vintage for a while there, Colorado.
Yeah, big time. So let's see, we're hitting against left. So let's see what we've got to work with. Wow. Well, this has to be limited at bats, but Dan Wilson killing it against lefties and Zunino. They're two catchers. So that leaves you with a bit of a paradox here, because do you want to make one the DH? Or
no.
Probably not. So
I think Dan Wilson will get our, that's the female favorite, right?
Yeah, because he's gorgeous, right? Zunino is actually the better catcher defensively.
We're all just pure aesthetics here. Like no statistics.
I mean, that's why pretty people rule the world, right? So,
all right, we got to get Brett Boone and his frosted tips in there.
Right. All right, so let's get Dan Wilson in here somewhere. It looks like we're not using Zunino. We got 3 righties and a lefty. So that probably puts Griffey third.
Gotta get Ichiro in, right?
Even though
he's struggling.
His numbers are terrible against lefties, but it's pretty hard to. And 143 probably means 2 for 14, right? So, but I think we definitely have to have Ichiro in here somewhere. He could lead off. I'm sure he'd be fine with that. And then Wilson, and then Griffey, and then Brett Boone, all supercharged. Phil Bradley, it looks like, is our left fielder. Maybe he goes 6th with Seager at 3rd. And, I forget about Edgar. Edgar can actually play the field. He's subpar at 1st or 3rd, but he doesn't have to just DH. But
put him at first. Who else do we have?
Your other first base options are only Ibanez.
Sexton or
Ibanez.
Ibanez. Oh, okay.
Worse at first. So we'll get Edgar in, Vizquel, and for the people maybe are following that closely, the reason Omar Vizquel is in Seattle, because you would think Cleveland, of course. Cleveland is so deep with 100 years of history that Vizquel actually can't make the all-time Indians roster. But the Mariners, with A-Rod, a Yankee, are historically short, pun intended, at shortstop. So Omar doesn't hit much, but a 9 rating at shortstop is always helpful. So we'll load him up. And that leaves us, if Edgar's at first, it gives us either a Banez, wow, or Buhner.
Jay, put Buhner in. Old school.
They're both awful. Against lefties, anyway. No offense, Jay. And Tino and Robinson Cano basically haven't batted against lefties. So I'm going to assume that's for good reason. So
let's do it. Looks good.
We got fan favorites here. Let's check out our opponent. Oh, look at that. You get a little Kirby sighting there, hitting 9th.
All right, and let's do it.
It's really rare. You don't see it very often that a guy is rated 10 defensively. Brooks Robinson is a 10. Ozzie Smith is a 10. Kirby Puckett is a 10. So
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays. So as they say, no wall too tall. We'll try to stay away from the Puckett Wrecking Company as we get started tonight in Eternal Baseball.
Excited.
Welcome to T-Mobile Park, where it's Minnesota against Seattle. Minnesota has won 8 of their last 10. Seattle has lost 7 straight, and 8 of their last 10. Yuan Santana will start for Minnesota. He's made 15 starts on the year and is 6-6 with an earned run average of 4.12. His second start against Seattle. He's 0-1 with a 7.20 earned run average against Seattle. He'll be opposed by Randy Johnson for Seattle. He's made 18 starts on the year and is 6-8 with an earned run average of 4.29. His fourth start against Minnesota. He's 1-1 with a 3.86 earned run average against Minnesota. It's 62 degrees. Pitching for Seattle, Randy Johnson. Leading off for Minnesota, catcher, Joe Mauer.
Play ball!
I just got to say that the Randy Johnson photo is one of my favorites. Right. I'm going to call that his resting pitch face. That's just, when I think of him, that's exactly how I think.
We got to get that Boone pick to his that one like, was it 3 month span where he had those frosted tips?
Oh, I can probably find that.
Yeah, we got to get that going. Oh, is Ken Phelps available? I don't think
right. Ken Phelps. No, they traded him for Buhner.
That's right.
It's my baseball people saying Ken Phelps. I love Baby Omar here.
That's right.
If this isn't high school sophomore photo, right? Like, come on. But yeah, like, and I'm digging the old school Mariners hat for Phil Bradley.
Nice.
With the trident, that's a good look. So anyway, we're off and running with vintage Joe Mauer at the plate.
This is gonna be a quick one. Let's do it.
Oh,
I jinxed it.
Right fielder, Tony Oliva.
I redid the whole field. We still can't see the stolen base percentage. That says 50%. Not too worried. There we go. Kyle
Shortstop, Chuck Knobloch.
I was fond of the Seager photo. That's him, right after the last out of his last game, which we didn't know at the time was his last game, but thought was his last one in Seattle. Oh, no.
Chuck Knobloch. Ugh.
Looks so smug about it, too, right? Come on.
First baseman, Harmon Killebrew.
Well, no problem. 2 runs in, and we haven't got to Killebrew
yet. We were due to get our butts kicked at some point here.
Right.
We've been on a good roll.
I got to say, though, with Vizquel
left fielder,
and Griffey
Goose
up the middle,
Goslin.
Pretty confident about the clubs out there. I do need to get in, and some of the Washington Senators photos I have been obviously colorized, and I need to fix that. I like the black and white of the vintage players. Goose Goslin doesn't have a color photo in his life.
Second baseman, number 9, Brian Dozier.
Dozier.
Right?
Uh-oh.
He fell off a cliff.
He did.
Pitching for Minnesota, Yuan Santana. Leading off for Seattle, right fielder, number 51, Ichiro Suzuki.
Before we get too far, let's see if I can help our buddy here.
Yuan.
Let's try it. Johan. So
Pretty
good.
good. Pretty
Right?
good, man. You're getting good at that.
I fixed Lazari and Sabathia is what it was. So I did some Yankee work, yard work this week. But
Have you done Lamahua yet? Is that?
I think I left him just because we liked it.
Hey, that'd be hard.
Can't see the fans shaking like stuffed llamas and for the boy.
Lamahua.
Catcher, Dan Wilson.
I mean, come on, look at that. All American boy.
Ladies.
And if you're Dan Wilson, you have to wear a Wilson chest protector, right? Like I was actually thinking about that up on the ski mountain this last week, remembering most of us were skiers, and then the snowboard craze hit, and the number one snowboard company from jump is Burton,
Yeah.
and I think Jeff Burton might have had the very first one off the production run, right? Like, dude, it has my name on the bottom. It's like
He's probably got some pretty cool old school boards. Yeah.
I would think, right? He was a mountain kid
With
anyway.
the split back. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like when I get my next barbecue grill, that like I'm not buying a Weber. Come on, you got to support the tribe. So, all right, Dan Wilson.
Oh, you're hit to the
Get it,
wrong
Kirby?
person.
Yeah.
Center fielder, Ken Griffey Jr.
All right, Griff.
All right.
Okay, 50% chance for a double for Griffey with 2 outs.
I don't think you run on Kirby here.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Try for a double? No. We're good.
Second baseman, Brett Boone.
Now you
Brett-
do run on Joe Mauer though.
Yeah, I wonder what it is. Griff wasn't, well, since
No.
76.
Dude, let's do it.
All right. Boone swung. It didn't help anything. Oh, maybe safe though. Woo, we're
Third
in.
baseman,
We're
number
rolling.
15, Kyle Seager.
All right, Seager.
Third baseman, Cecil Travis.
Cecil Travis.
Yeah, keeping Miguel Sano on the bench.
Have you ever heard of Cecil Travis?
I just know he was a short
Designated hitter, number 18,
Senators.
Mitch
He
Garver.
can also play some third, but you think it's funny how some teams just have positional holes that go on forever, right? Try to think of a great Twins shortstop ever, right?
Greg Gagne. Gagne.
Right?
He pronounced it Gagne though, didn't he?
Yeah, he was Gagne. Yeah, not Gagne.
Gagne.
But it's funny. I can only imagine what it's like for a team or a franchise or a fan base when one of those gigantic holes gets filled by a savior, right? Because one of the biggest holes I could ever find was shortstop in San Diego.
Yeah.
And
That door has been slammed shut.
Since they traded away a young Ozzie Smith and went, nah, we're good. But I mean, it's just an absolute black hole in the history of San Diego sports. And now Fernando Tatis, right? Like, I bet he could probably do no wrong, right? More so than just being the mega talent that he is. He's the answer to like 40 years of pain at shortstop. So,
Mike and Robert. Let's see where Richie Zisk and Gary Gaddy, man. Yeah, that actually was an oversight. We should have gotten Gary Gaddy in.
You didn't even spell it right, though, Rob. Shame on you. Putting some respect on his name, but spelling it wrong. Well, anyway, Mitch Garver steps in.
Center fielder, Kirby Puckett.
And
here we go.
I made sure that was Kirby. That was not Kirby's photo when we loaded up the game, but if you expand that, he's got a fist in the air and the Metrodome is losing it. And I mean, that's got to be the photo. Oh, no. Nah, Phil's got it. Yeah.
Left fielder, Phil Bradley.
Look at that mustache.
See what Rob said?
What's it? Good point. Good point.
Phil Bradley's like looking down at the ground. Something. We got to get a better picture. There's got to be another one with the cool hat on.
Yeah, Phil Bradley must have done something at that point, hot foot or something. Just want to get called out. Come on, Phil. Great bunter, by the way. Didn't know that.
Where we at on the bunting?
No, he's an 8.
Ooh.
But Mauer's a pretty good catcher, so
Let's get crazy, man.
right.
I never saw Phil Bradley bunt.
Oh, well, look at that. We're butting him all game. Run, Phil.
Oh, he's got to be there.
Gillibrew
First baseman, Edgar
had a
Martinez.
first baseman glove, a third baseman glove, and an outfield glove. And he didn't use any of them, really. So he's a no doubt all-star. One of the favorites probably for AL MVP. But it's always like this, right? There's always like 5 first basemen with massive numbers. So Killebrew made the All-Star game, but actually as an outfielder, even though he hasn't played much outfield this year. But there's a lot more qualified first basemen than there are qualified outfielders. So
got the votes, man. Got the votes.
Maybe next Sunday we'll see Killebrew butchering fly balls in Wrigley, right? No swirling winds there at all, Harvey. You'll be fine. All right, so here comes Edgar.
Where we at?
74.
Oh, yes.
Mauer's
it's early,
not bad.
but Mauer's not good.
All right. Is it straight steal or hit and run?
Let's steal. Straight steal.
All right. He's off. There you go, Roto.
All right, third base.
18% steal. Come on, Edgar. Oh, Chuck's all over it. Wow, they have Knobloch playing short.
Shortstop,
sketchy.
Omar,
Which
Vizquel.
I believe they tried for about 20 games as a rookie, and then they were like, yeah, we're fine. We'll figure it out. Gaddy, get in. Omar's a great bunter with 1 out.
Nah, let him hit. Should have bunted, Mark.
Goslin is not impressed.
Was he tagging?
47% chance to steal or to advance.
No, 2 outs. Yeah. No sense.
Designated hitter, Jay Bayuner.
Ooh,
Bayuner.
that one hurt. Let's see if we can help a brother out here.
Bayuner.
Yeah, who did
Bloomer. Try it. Jay
that?
Bloomer.
You. Ner?
Bioner.
Oh no.
How about BUE?
Wait a minute.
Biener.
Okay, what do you want me to type?
BUE. Just see what it does for that.
Boo. Boo. Boo.
Just do.
Bio.
The best game.
This should be our entire podcast. Not even play the game.
Boo. 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 Biener. Biener.
Fine. You can keep him. All right, Jay. Oh, look at that.
Get out.
Get out.
Hey.
He must have been frustrated by the guy constantly mispronouncing his name.
Right fielder, Ichiro Suzuki.
Here we
Not
go.
a very good bunter. Well, against a left-hander, it's probably harder. So. Well, no, the left-hander would fall off the mound to third base.
I would think it'd be better than a 2,
Joe
but
Mauer.
Don't you remember?
you see what Rob said?
Don't you remember him push bunting down the first baseline?
I do.
Anyway, we're tied up and we're happy about it.
Or yeah, dragging it down the first baseline.
Right fielder, Tony Oliva.
You see Rob's coming? Hot phonics action.
Right.
That could just be the name of the podcast.
Shortstop, Chuck Knobloch.
Chuck Knobloch. He took Randy Johnson deep last time. Now, if this was real, legitimate Major League Baseball,
In the ear.
in your experience, Roto, where is Knobloch receiving this next pitch?
Yeah, it would probably be in the ribs, but
Yeah,
the ear wouldn't be outside of consideration.
yeah, absolutely. Let's see where it goes. Oh boy.
Dude, if we get done by Chuck Knobloch all game.
Nah, I hit it.
Catcher, Dan Wilson.
Dan Wilson.
Handsome Dan.
Center fielder, Ken Griffey Jr.
All right.
Second baseman, Brett Boone. Third baseman,
I don't know if Brett
Kyle
Boone's ever hit
Seager.
a single in his life, but good for him.
Send him. Oh, he had it one year where he stole a bunch, didn't he? Yeah,
73?
send him. Man, they have no respect for Joe Mauer. Oh, he's there.
He's in. Kyle Seager. Duck on the pond. That's good, solid baseball right there. Move the runner over.
With 2 outs.
First baseman, Harmon Killebrew.
Well, there is.
Yo, Skip. Just doing my part.
Oh, at least it's sunk.
Left fielder,
What happened to
Bruce
Bradley there?
Goslin.
Yeah, I know. He just froze on it, I guess. Did you know Killebrew's basic stance is considered the silhouette for the MLB logo?
I did know that.
He's
I don't know why, but
he's the Jerry West of Major League Baseball. Oh, Goslin with the bunt. Making Randy
Second
Johnson
baseman,
angry, I'm sorry.
Brian Dozier.
1 out, and Dozier comes to the plate.
Oh, you're not sending Killebrew. No way.
We only got a 27% chance to get him out at home.
It's Harmon. Let's get him out. Gun him.
Lou is not impressed with the wheels on Harmon Killebrew. Throw home, yes. Not
Third baseman, Cecil Travis.
Apparently, Sid Bream was running home.
Yeah, apparently. Barry Bonds was throwing. Look at Dozier.
Did he run?
He did. Kept him out of a double play.
Playing good fundamental baseball.
Designated hitter.
This is Tom
Mitch
Kelly. Who's
Perfect.
coaching this team? Tom
Right?
Kelly?
Better us going to the right side to move the run for 2 outs. Oh, Mitch Garver tries to shoot the gap. 2 runs in.
Center fielder, Kirby Puckett.
Knobloch and Garver with all the RBIs. That's hugely disappointing.
Here comes the eater of worlds. Kirby Puckett. Oh, you're on your horse, Phil.
Why are you looking down, Phil?
That's
Look up. Look up, Phil. Look up, Phil. You're looking down, Phil. Well, I don't mind giving up to Kirby.
Talk about mixed feelings.
Catcher,
favorite player
Joe
ever.
Mauer.
Grind the ball, Phil.
Just made Randy Johnson humble. I think maybe it's bullpen time.
Dang it, dude.
Hey, Arthur Rhodes. Arthur Rhodes, how's your arm?
I just started Rhodes today.
Let's see.
Nah, dude, he's good for what, like 120?
Yeah, 130 actually, but
I mean, who else are we gonna bring in?
Floyd Bannister.
JJ Poots?
I mean, it is a lefty, so we probably want to go to a righty. It's probably
Jeff Nelson. I
it's
mean,
it's Mike Schooler, maybe.
Dude, we got to roll with Johnson, man.
It doesn't hurt to have somebody throwing.
Oh man, I've seen so many Kingdom games of the Mariners bullpen, and it was.
Get a little.
I'm getting bad flashbacks right
now. Some, pitcher traumatic stress syndrome. Okay. All right, fine. But it is 6 runs already.
Left fielder,
All right, here we go.
Bradley.
Come on, Phil.
Strike 3.
First baseman, Edgar Martinez.
Oh, Edgar. You better hope that makes stands.
Mike wants to free Lee Guterman.
Oh, I forgot about Lee Guterman. He was a Yankee for a while. Not terrible, but again, that's when the Yankees were terrible. So Guterman felt better than he was, I think.
Strike 3.
Shortstop,
Wow.
Omar Vizquel.
Edgar Martinez striking out looking is a bad omen.
Ridiculous.
Hey, Omar's a really good bunter, but there's 2 outs.
Sure. It's either he squares up and bunts or he does a swinging bunt. So
he's gonna get there.
not even a throw.
Mm-mm.
All right,
Oh, they're challenging the ruling.
Right
What?
fielder
Oh, he's
Tony
out.
Oliva.
What?
Instant replays and death of the game.
I didn't even see him throw the ball. Did you? I thought he just
No,
held
Did you go out of the baseline, maybe? That's probably it. Avoid the tag. Ran too far.
it. He slapped at it like A-Rod.
Right.
The minute A-Rod did that, I knew
Shortstop,
that series
Chuck
was over.
Knobloch.
There's no way
Oh,
the
yeah.
baseball gods are going to look on that.
And
That
Yankee
glove
fans,
slap.
Yankee fans were already tired of him. And that was anybody left, right, on the A-Rod Island was just like turn it off and on their way out, right?
I mean, one thing if he just kind of nodded and then accepted that he had done it, but I mean, he was so vehemently arguing. It's like, oh, come on, man! Like,
and I forget if it was earlier or later, but he had that bit where he was like 2 outs, runners on first and second. He's in Toronto, and a guy hits a sky-high pop up to third, and he slows up so he can scream in the third baseman's ear as the ball was coming down, and the ball
Yes.
drops, and you're just like, it's March, man, or it's like it's May. Did you really need it that much? Like, you want that to be the headline on SportsCenter, huh? Wow. All right. Anyway,
just couldn't help himself.
Fence Buster Chuck Knobloch digs in. Lonnie Smith still mad.
First baseman
Chuck Knobloch.
Harmon Killebrew.
Strike 3.
There we
Designated
go.
hitter Jay Bayuner.
Oh, Bayou. Well,
Eh,
he's been the Mariner offense so far. So
we've given people enough phonics action for
hey, let's go Bayou.
baseball phonics. The new podcast by the Eternal Baseball.
Right. It's a 10-minute show. It's
Right
great.
fielder Ichiro Suzuki.
Ichiro, the bad bunter, steps in.
I think we'll do one of those where they do like the really
Catcher
like the sexy thumbnail
Wilson.
on the YouTube video,
Right.
like that. And people click on it, it's just us messing with the
Right.
phonics thing.
We're putting up baseball cards and going, Buerle, Borley, Mark Burr. Yeah. I remember I was working in radio when he came up for I think it was his first start or one of his first starts. And I was just running through, I think it was who the Orioles were playing last night. Or that night I was in DC. And I was like, okay, Scott Erickson against, the heck, what is this? Buehrle. I don't even remember. I tried to contact their media relations guy, and like he was just up. Nobody had any idea how to pronounce. And how are you going to get Burley out of that? Come on.
Just trail off. Everybody just trailed it off. Like
Against some guy for Chicago. They were listening. They just wanted to know Redskins scores. What's the Redskins score? Spoiler, they lost. All right. Oh, Ichiro's got to be able to steal a base.
Yes.
Off he goes.
We're not going to win, but we're going to steal a ton of bases.
All we've done is,
Uh-oh.
oh boy, he's mean.
Oh,
Strike
I don't regret
Left
that.
fielder
Right.
Goose Goslin.
That's not a bad beat. But Goose Goslin.
No.
It's Griffey, though, right? Come on.
Second baseman Brian Dozier.
Dozier.
Third baseman Cecil Travis.
Another good bunter. But with 2 outs, a doubter.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Bad day for the big unit.
Designated hitter Mitch Garver.
So it's only given up 5 hits.
Yeah, but 6. I don't know if they're all earned. I don't remember any errors, but. Well, there are no. Wait. Look, there are no errors. Get on your horse, Griff. Over his head.
Oh, what?
2% chance to get him at home.
Gotta do it.
You just want to see it?
It's Ken Griffey Jr. If anyone has a chance, it's
Come on, Griff. Oh, Vizquel.
Oh, whoa, dude.
Oh.
Center fielder
come on.
Kirby Puckett.
Well, the runner didn't advance, so no harm. But here we go again. More trouble.
All right, you guys, you can get someone up after.
Yeah, this just hasn't been Randy's night.
Center fielder Ken Griffey Jr.
So let's see. For Minnesota, next up will be Maurer and Oliva. So we'll probably want a lefty, even though we have a lefty. We'll probably want a lefty who can get people out. This Randy Johnson guy's terrible. Maybe they can ship him back to Montreal. Hey, Arthur Rhodes is left-handed.
Is Moyer actually a starter, or is he just their long guy?
Yeah, no, he's a starter.
Okay.
Looks like it's Floyd Bannister. Wait a minute. Just because he's, 224. It's actually Kaz Sasaki with his 200 batting average against lefties.
I was hoping we'd give up 15 runs today.
Right. 7-2, but there's time left.
Second baseman, Brett Boone.
All right.
Boone's
Brett Boone
feeling
having a day.
Third baseman, Kyle
And
Seager.
Weird, I don't remember Brett Boone having that much power, but
he's got to be in the 70s here. Oh.
Kyle Seager giving it a ride.
Get out of there.
No, Tony leave it at the wall.
Left fielder, Phil Bradley.
Let's steal, man. Let's get him in scoring position. Where's he at?
73.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. This is solid.
He's in
All
there.
right. Phil Bradley. Start the comeback.
Ball 4.
All right. I know what you're thinking.
First baseman, Edgar Martinez.
Oh, hey, we got a chance.
Come on, Edgar.
That's it.
Not going to get it done.
Inside the park.
Right.
Whoa. Did he?
Catcher,
I don't know
Joe
if he flipped it.
Maurer.
That's what it was supposed to be.
Did he flip it to himself?
Kept it himself. So.
Tossed it high in the air and then ran underneath.
Right.
Johnson
is strong, but not having the best day. So
very strong.
Here's
pitching for Seattle, Kazuhiro Sasaki.
Oh my gosh, the ship's
it has
going down.
No problem with Kazuhiro Sasaki, but Jay Buhner, way too complicated for the AL. Intro coming in.
Right fielder, Tony Oliva.
0 for 3 on the day, Tony Oliva. Oh, I shouldn't have said it. I taunted him. And he hits one over Ichiro's head. He's going for 3.
No.
Wow.
Shortstop, Chuck Knobloch.
To look out at Ichiro and go, yeah, this is the guy. I'm taking third. Salute. Good for you, Tony. Oh, no. It's Chuck Knobloch again.
He's going to be player of the day.
Oh, boy.
Pair of two-run bombs.
Armin Killebrew.
Sasaki, it's been so nice to see you. And now
left fielder, Goose Goslin.
Goose Goslin gives it a ride, but Phil Bradley not impressed.
Shortstop, Omar Vizquel.
Well, first things first. We're going to get Sasaki out of there next inning. What you feeling there, Brent? It's probably not Edwin Diaz. He's the closer, but you can have J.J. Poots, Jeff Nelson, or Mike Schooler.
Poots it.
I remember when he was the closer for the Mariners, the lead baseball writer for the Baltimore Sun was a guy named Legit Peter Schmuck. And he just waited for 2 months, circled the day on the calendar when the Mariners would come to town because he was going to interview J.J. Poots, right? And it would have been a funny story, right? Born with the name Schmuck, born with the name Putz. And he cleared with the PR guy and he went there and JJ came down to meet with him and he goes, hey, I appreciate you taking the time. I'm Peter Schmuck, Baltimore Sun.
And he thought he was messing with him?
And, he said, and obviously we've got one thing in common. And Putz just went, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, my name's Peter Schmuck and your name's Poots. He said, yeah, but I'm sure it's been mispronounced sometimes, but it doesn't change that my name's J.J. Poots. It was like he had no sense of humor about it.
Just not dealing with it.
Just went nowhere. And so that was the column that Schmuck wrote was, well, sometimes a man can be pushed too far, I guess. So can you imagine, as prickly as baseball players can be with their sense of humor, what it must have been like for him, even as obviously a great pitcher at every level growing up.
Well, so yeah, just as a junior hire and
yeah,
that's
so
tough.
All right, JJ, I get it. So here's Omar, great bunter.
So this is usually the part of the game where you're in the Kingdom and their big screen, which wasn't that big, let's be honest. They would show, they do their, guess the attendance for today, right?
Right.
And so they do this, if I remember correctly, they had like a little sailboat theme thing where there's 3 different sailboats cruising around with different numbers on them. And like the highest number was like 4,800. It was like the highest one to guess from. And you sit there and look around like, nah, that's they might as well have said 150,000, right?
Right.
And so it always settle on like 2350. Thanks for joining us. That day game when they were like 20 games out in August, right? Yeah, right. Every fan.
All right. So
Rob says Poots wouldn't have made it long on Long Island.
Exactly right. Now we're getting down to it here as our struggling Mariners hitting the 7th inning, but I don't even know who the backup shortstop is. They might not even have one on the roster. I guess it's Joey Cora in the minors.
It's Mike Zunino.
So bad. So no backup. So
bunted.
He's going to hit, but he might bunt.
Let's bunt. Let's do it.
Look at him,
dude. Wait, did he make it?
Yep,
designated hitter Jake Bayuner.
The throw is in right field, but Vizquel stays put at 77%.
Let's man. Let's do it.
Picked him off.
Webb.
I suppose you could have seen that one coming, given how we've been running the offense.
All right.
Jake Buhner hits one at country mile, but left.
Oh, Cecil Travis. Don't you dare, sir.
Right fielder, Ichiro Suzuki.
All right, Ichiro. Oh, Killebrew bungles it, but still gets him, I think.
Second baseman, Brian Dozier.
That kind of effort would not have cut it with my high school baseball coaches. Let's just put it that way.
Sasaki looks fine, but his
pitching for Seattle, JJ
terrible.
Poots.
Look at the red hair. Didn't know that. Even they said Poots, so good for them.
Ball 4. No. Take your base.
Third baseman, Cecil Travis.
I'm telling you this right now. If he gives up some runs, I'm changing his name. I'm going to give him his nightmare pronunciation. Just saying.
Potts.
Hey, sit on it, Potsy. Well, here we go.
Designated hitter, Mitch Garver.
Mitch Garver. Very
catcher,
nice.
Dan Wilson.
0 for 3, Dan Wilson.
Handsome Dan Wilson.
You see here. His OPS has only dropped from 1,500 to 1,300, so he's got some degree of success.
This is our inning, Webb. Here we go.
Oh, look.
Boom. All right.
Butchers it.
Oh, go to 2.
Wilson going 2.
Center fielder, Ken Griffey Jr.
Wow. Griffey.
Boom. Here we go.
Santana's only got 20 pitches left in that left arm.
Second baseman, Brett Boone.
All right, Boone's been our guy.
Man, they tagged out Wilson.
Third baseman, Kyle Seager.
That's some bad baseball right there. 73% chance to run, but we're down 7 runs. I think maybe we better enjoy that base runner while we have him.
Mike's giving us some Long Island Slang.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Telling you. Kyle Seager, help us out. Not what we need.
Center fielder, Kirby Puckett.
All right. Well,
Boots appears okay. How you doing, man?
yeah, I'm all right.
I've been there.
Can you get this guy for me? I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
You know me, I can't complain.
I've been out here for 12 whole pitches. All right. Oh, Kirby again.
Oh, Phil.
Phil's not helping.
We got to get a new picture of Phil because that one is messing with his
Catcher, Joe Mauer.
All right, bullpen.
No,
just to
let's
get ready.
let's ride it, man. Come on.
Nah.
Last inning.
I'm getting somebody ready, Jessica. Joe Mauer.
Strike 3.
There you go.
Right fielder, Tony Oliva.
Oh, that's going to score the curb. Oh, 30% chance to get Puckett at home.
Oh, Phil Bradley. He's looking exactly where he needs to be looking right now.
Let's go.
Straight
Phil.
at home plate.
Better chance if we cut the throw to second. But there's only one out.
No. Gotta go.
Oh, Puckett dead at the
Wow.
plate.
Shortstop,
Nice job,
Chuck
Phil Bradley.
Knobloch.
Wow, looky here. This is old school baseball. Puckett lowers his shoulder. I mean, there are
On
several
handsome
guys.
Dan Will. He may not make it out of the
Right.
city alive.
I'm trying to think of like the top 10 guys I don't want barreling into me at home plate.
Number one, Hal McRae.
Right? Yeah, that's true. Because he comes in and spikes up.
Missile. I mean, just beat off the ground like you're. Yeah.
I heard Ty Cobb is working on a new slide at home where he actually goes airborne with both feet, but in a helicopter type motion for maximum damage.
Hal McRae with the Ridge Holland like flying
Right?
clothesline.
You know what?
Ridge Holland.
Chuck Knobloch, enough of you.
First baseman,
Go on over
Harmon Killebrew.
What'd you do?
there. I walked Knobloch to get the Killebrew. Out of
course.
sheer respect. And it worked.
Left fielder, Phil Bradley.
Santana's got 6 pitches left in that arm, but he's taunting us. Phil Bradley's a great bunter, just saying.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Been working most of the game.
We need a lot of base runners.
Run,
oh,
Phil!
dude.
Damn it.
First baseman, Edgar Martinez.
I gotta say, I've been really disappointed in 0 for 3 Edgar. If I thought one guy was slump proof.
Strike 3.
Oh, Edgar.
Shortstop,
Wow.
Omar Vizquel.
All right, Omer Vizquel,
It's down to Omar.
help us out.
Strike 3.
Oh, strike him out, throw him out. It's
Oh man, see, this is the problem with going live, Webb. I mean, if this wasn't live, we could have just totally rerun this game entirely,
Right, just turn
save
it
some
off.
face.
Turn it off.
The final score from T-Mobile Park, Minnesota 9, Seattle 2. Seattle has lost 8 in a row. Johan Santana picks up the win. He is now 7-6 on the season. Randy Johnson is the loser. He is now 6-9 on the season. Chuck Knobloch hit 2 home runs. He now has 3 on the season. Kirby Puckett hit number 2. J. Bayuner hit number 13. Time of the game, 3 hours, 5 minutes.
Knobloch's second homer of the year. Puckett's second homer of the year. Oh, Knobloch with a second and third. So good to know that he had 1 coming in today, but leaves with 3.
Oh man.
And the only pitcher who was above average today, according to Stuff, is J.J. Poots, our hero, with 2 innings of scoreless relief
Locked it down.
after Kaz Sasaki threw up all over himself. So, and of course, player of the day.
We put Kazasaki in the game. Ugh.
Player of the day, Minnesota Twins shortstop Chuck Knobloch, 2 for 4, 2 runs, 4 RBIs, a walk, an intentional walk, by the way, and 2 homers. Hitting 190 on the season, but they had him hit third. I guess he's just feasting on left-handed.
Just no, man. His batting practice this morning was outstanding.
I love that Randy Johnson says 6'9" next to him. That probably makes him mad too. He's like 6'10", damn it, get it right. Bunch of hacks out there.
6-9, and they're in first place. Or no,
They
sorry,
were
they were in first place. Yeah.
just even a subpar season for Randy, and they're probably still in first. But.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, Randy Johnson, our hero, 6 innings, 6 hits, 7 earned, 2 strikeouts in 6 innings.
dude, we're not gonna be able to go back into Cascadia, man. After this,
That's trouble. Yeah, exactly. We'll go to L.A. We were good to Sandy Koufax, so L.A. kind of guy. So
a couple of last comments. Yeah. Let's see.
yeah,
This game is.
you got that right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Tom. Is it Tom Kelly?
I think it is.
It's
Tom
gotta be.
Kelly,
It's gotta be
rather than
Tom
Jones.
Kelly.
Yeah, it's
Gotta
not
be.
Rocco. It's not Rocco Baldelli. He's still playing for Tampa, even though they're 2 of their last 12 or something. Anyway, so yeah, that wraps it up. That's the first game off the Monday schedule. So a little sneak preview there. Minnesota at Seattle. Look out for later on Monday. We'll have some more All-Star invites going out to your favorite teams, or maybe even teams you don't like. But
Chuck Knobloch. Look in
yeah,
your mailbox.
we're keeping track of them on our homepage at eternalbaseball.com. Check out the we have team-centric message boards, but there's also one that's just general discussion, and that's where we're keeping track of the All-Stars as they're unveiled. So this week we'll have the All-Star invites going out daily. On Friday, if you're signed up for our totally free Eternal Baseball newsletter, you can get on that list at eternalbaseball.com. You'll find out the starters for the All-Star game. And then next Sunday night on the Eternal Baseball podcast, it's our second All-Star game from Wrigley Field. Brent and I will see if we can do better with the National League than we did tonight with Randy Johnson in the mirror. So
Exciting. Very exciting.
yeah, it's always unpredictable. You never know which team we're going to sink. But next week might be the National League. So for Brent and Mark, appreciate you tuning in. And
Thanks, guys.
it's the only baseball in town. You got to love it. It's Eternal Baseball. And we will see you next week on another thrilling edition of the Eternal Baseball Podcast.